What's going on? YouTube, Fight Freaks, family, friends, fans, whoever might be watching. Pretty much just making this video to make a very definitive place mark in my life. You know, just like you would a bookmark in a book that you're reading. I wanted to make a very well-known fact right here, right now. So my life has always had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of bad with the good, you know, a lot of bad with the good. Let's just say 90% of that is my fault. Let's say 100% of that is my actual fault for not always putting in as much effort that needs to be done. The effort needed to get the job done, right? So I'm trying to create a new path, and within that path, I'm trying to go hard and really put it all on the line, whatever it takes. I'm to the point where I'm willing to do anything, as long as it's legal, to better my life and to make it to places where I've never been in life, right? So I was on my last couple $100, and I've been thinking about this Lyft thing, driving for Lyft for a while now, and I said, hey, fuck it, let's do it. Let's put all our money in, get the Lyft rental. I was damn near broke. Let's get the Lyft rental and just make it work. It either works or it don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm at that point in my life. It either works or it don't. There's no emotions behind it. If it works, God bless. If it doesn't, then it's a lesson and it's just on to the next, you know? So I put all my money in on this rental. The day I went to pick it up, my boss was running late for me to leave work to go pick up the rental. So I got out late. I still had 30 minutes to make it. And by the time I got on the interstate, there was an accident. That put me behind another 20 minutes. So I was legit running like 20 minutes late to pick up my rental. And I had an appointment. And I wasn't sure if they were going to take it back, cancel it, take my money, whatever. But like I said, it was all money in, like my boy Nit, right? So I get there. I'm the last person there. It's like 3 o'clock. I'm not seen until 4. I'm not seen until 4 o'clock. So when I'm finally seen at 4, they're like, look, dude, you know, you're pretty much set to go. All we need is just an ID and a credit card. So I give him my card, and he's like, nah, man, I can't accept this card. It has to be a well-known bank. I had like an Amscot card or something, you know, had my name on it and everything, though. He's like, nah, it has to be a well-known bank. We can't accept it. He's like, we'll give you an hour, man. Just, you know, try to make it back. We close at 5, right? So I'm like, fuck, man. My phone is on like 15%. Normally my cheap-ass old phone dies at like 15, 20%. It'll just die completely, right? So like, all right, fuck it. I got one shot for this. I rush to a TD Bank. I mean, I fly. You know, I'm rushing my Lyft driver. So let's back up a little bit. I order my Lyft. I got like 15% on my phone. I know my phone is gonna die, but I don't really have many options. I call a friend. I'm like, look, if I'm gonna call you in the next couple minutes, I might need an emergency. I might need you to get me a Lyft or Uber, right? That person's like, no problem, I got you. So I get to the bank, and it's just taking hella long. And, you know, it's not an in and out thing. They ask me all kind of questions. The little ass of a blank clerk is being like a little snobby dick, which most of them are. It don't matter. I'll beat the fuck out of half of them anyway. And it was just every second that passed by, I know it's just my one shot. It's either gonna happen or it's not. And It gets like 4:30, and dude is finally printing out the card. The card is coming and got my name on it, but the fucking pin pad registration won't work. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I gotta take a chance. I'll just leave with it like that. So I get back to the lift place. I see there's no one else there. I'm like, damn. Wonder if they're still here. I go inside. Everyone's still there waiting for me, right? So I'm like, man, that's a blessing. Run the registration. Everything goes through smooth. I'm literally on like my last couple $100, and by the time they're finished with me, it's like past 5. And they're like, yeah, we're closed for the weekend, but you're good. You're good to go. Everything's set. So I leave. I just got off of work, so I go home, and my plan was to sleep until 10 and then drive for Friday night, hit the club spots and hit just the local bars and whatnot. And the second I go to charge, I had the amp charging while I was sleeping. When I woke up to check the amp to register it to my phone and everything, the amp was dead. And I'm like, what the hell? I used the charger that the man at Lyft gave me for the amp, and it still wouldn't work. So I'm kind of pissed now. I'm like, god damn, what the fuck is going on? You man gave me a fucking faulty wire or a faulty amp, right? And just based on what I'm reading, it's like, well, you can make extra money, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, cool, I can just drive without it. Go to register my vehicle. It's like, your vehicle is ready for pickup. I'm like, what? I've already picked up my vehicle. What are you talking about? They're like, your vehicle's ready for pickup. So I do everything in my possible power to register my vehicle so I can start driving for the weekend. Because mind you, this Lyft place isn't open again until Monday. Nothing works. So I'm so fucking frustrated and upset and just in my thoughts and just regretting shit, right? So I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna go to the movies tomorrow, take my little brothers to the movies. I'll have a good day, and I'll figure this out Monday. And if it ends up it was being something on my part, and I'm not able to make the deadline for the rides, and I get the car, taken back, it just wasn't it wasn't for me. I did everything in my power to make it work, and it didn't. So fast forward to today, Monday. I had the car for the weekend, 3 days, no driving, just personal use, really. I get to Lyft. I get there early. Matter of fact, I wake up at like 7, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just not go and fuck it. Just keep the car a couple extra days till they come get that motherfucker. Whatever, or maybe I should just go in here, face the music, and tell them, hey, I think either a mistake on my part or your part happened, and I wasn't able to register the vehicles and drive all weekend, right? So I'm sitting in bed, I'm smoking. I smoked like 3 or 4 blunts, and finally I'm like, I muster up enough courage to go down there and face the music, right? So I get to Lyft. I'm like, look, man, I had the car weekend. I wasn't able to drive. The registration was complete. I couldn't drive. Dude tells me, he's like, oh, you didn't drive at all? I'm like, no. He's like, all right, well, go, he's like, just give me a second, go sit down, and I'll run everything. So I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck, I don't have the debit card so I can renew the car again. So, mind you, somebody took it. It got taken over the weekend. I didn't get it back. It's a brand new one I just got Friday. So I rush over to the bank, and I'm getting the money out because I have to put a new deposit down. They're going to give me back my deposit in a couple of days, whatever. And then I get a new card, and then I'm headed back to the fucking Lyft place again. And when I get there, they're like, look, dude, we're going to comp you the 3 days. It was a 3-day free rental. You're back on the road, man. Pretty much, long story short, I know I gave a lot of small details. What I'm getting at is sometimes you think your curses define your life, but if you just stay strong-minded and don't let those losses define you and be patient, because your wins will come. As long as you're putting in the work, wins will come back your way. So it all worked out in my favor. Even though there was a lot of L's I took these last couple of days, it all ended up working out in my favor. And I'm grateful. And I'm just going to keep going forward, man. You can't dwindle on the past and the mistakes, your regrets. I don't have time. I'm damn near 30. Motherfucker out here trying to make it. And I ain't wasting no time being sad or upset. Just got to get it, man. So just wanted to point out that, there was a lot of times where I wanted to quit. And the only thing that kept me from quitting is the people who I know that look up to me. And the people it would truly affect. Not the people who act like they fuck with me, but nah, not that. I mean the people who are legitimately there, every day calling, check up on you, make sure you're all right. Those people. And the people that I care about in that way as well are the people that I'm trying to do this for. So I just want to tell you, keep your heads up. You can do it. And if you can't, you try. And it just is what it is. Think of all the great people who have failed and never achieved that final victory that they wanted. Whether you're an athlete, businessman, entrepreneur. I'm not the first to do this shit. I ain't invent none of this shit. I'm just here trying to make it, man. I'm just a man trying to make it out here. So, stay grinding, stay hungry, and keep just busting ass, man. All right? Fight Freak out.